Hi everyone, welcome to the Data Monk. In this playlist, we will talk about statistics. Today, our topic will be one of the most important part of statistics, hypothesis testing. After watching the video, you will be able to answer anything regarding to hypothesis testing. Before we start, don't forget to hit a like and share button. So to know about anything, we should know from where this term derive. So our first question will be, what do you mean by hypothesis? A hypothesis is an educated guess about something in the world around you. And the most important condition which differ hypothesis from the statement is that it should be testable either by experiment or observation. Let's take some example. A new medicine you think might work. This is our hypothesis as it can be testable. A way of teaching you think might be better. So this is also testable. Therefore, it is our hypothesis. Or let's say one more example. A fairer way to administer the tests. So all three statements are our hypothesis. It can really be anything as long as you can put it to tests. Now after learning hypothesis, we will move toward hypothesis statement. What is a hypothesis statement? If you are going to propose a hypothesis, it is customary to write a statement, and your statement should look like by doing this, we will achieve this outcome. Like if and then statement. If this thing is done, so we can move forward. Basically, it's like an independent and dependent cause and effect variable. A good hypothesis statement should include all these 5 points. The first point is in our hypothesis, it is important to include if and then statement. The second is it should include both the independent and dependent variable. And for the hypothesis, it should be testable. So that's our third condition. And for fourth condition, a good hypothesis statement should be based on information in prior research, either yours or someone else. And for the last condition, a good hypothesis statement should have a design criteria. This point is mainly for engineering and programming projects. Now, in most of the cases, hypothesis is confused with prediction. But hypothesis and prediction are very two different terms that people can easily consider to be same. Basically, hypothesis is an educated guess, but prediction is our pure guess. Hypothesis is based on fact and evidence, and for prediction, it may be or may not be based on fact and evidence. We can explain hypothesis, but we cannot explain our prediction as it is our pure guess. Now, after learning the term related to hypothesis testing, we will directly move into what is hypothesis testing. Data alone is not interesting. It is the interpretation of the data that we are really interested in. In statistics, when we wish to start asking questions about the data and interpret the result, we use statistical method that provide a confidence or likelihood about the answer. The method we use to provide confidence and likelihood is known as statistical hypothesis testing. There are many types of hypothesis tests, but in this video, we will talk about null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. First, let's start with null hypothesis. The null hypothesis states that there is no relationship between the measure phenomenon, which is our dependent variable, and the independent variable. We don't need to believe that the null hypothesis is true to test it. On the contrary, we will likely suspect that there is a relationship between the set of variables. One way to prove that is the case to reject the null hypothesis. To distinguish it from the other hypothesis, the null hypothesis is written as H naught. As you can see in the figure, we are suspecting the relation between the food and the shape. And for the second figure, we are suspecting the relation between the plant growth by the light color. We are suspecting that there is no relationship between the age and the musical ability. Let's take some example for null hypothesis. Our first question is, are teens better at maths than adult? So we can state our null hypothesis like age has no effect on mathematical ability. And our second question will be, does taking aspirin every day reduce the chance of having a heart attack? So our null hypothesis in this will be taking aspirin daily does not affect our heart. And for one more example, our question state that do cats care about the color of their food? So our null hypothesis will be cats express no food preference based on the color. Now null hypothesis have two type of error, type 1 error and type 2 error, where type 1 error is false positive and type 2 error is false negative. As you can see in the figure, if our null hypothesis is true, but in some case it is rejected by the test, so it will cause type 1 error, which is false positive probability. If null hypothesis is false, but it is not rejected by our test, so it will cause type 2 error, which is false negative. Let's look at with the example. As you can see in the figure, we have two actual conditions, guilty and not guilty, where not guilty is our null hypothesis statement. So, if our null hypothesis is true, which means the person is not guilty, but our test result said that the H note is false, means verdict of guilty. So, it will cause our type 1 error, which is false positive, which means guilt reported unfairly. And if our null hypothesis is false, which means guilty, but the test result show our null hypothesis to be true, which means that verdict of non-guilty will cause type 2 error, which is false negative, means guilt is not detected. Now you are very well familiar with the null hypothesis. So we will move toward what is alternative hypothesis. The alternative hypothesis is just the alternative to the null. For example, let's say I'm going to win up to 1000 rupees. So our alternate hypothesis will be I'm going to win more than 1000 rupees. As you can see in this figure, our null hypothesis H naught say that light color has no effect on plant growth. Therefore, our alternative hypothesis HA will be light colors affect the plant growth. The alternative hypothesis is denoted by HA or H1. Now you are familiar with both null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. So we will know about alpha value and p value. First of all, what does alpha mean in hypothesis test? Before you run any statistical test, you must determine your alpha level, which is also called as significance level. By definition, we can say that the alpha value is the probability of rejecting the null hypothesis when the null hypothesis is true. Like all probability, alpha ranges from 0 to 1. However, for most people, they use alpha value of 0.05. Now for p-value. What is the p-value of our hypothesis test? A p-value is used in hypothesis testing to help you support or reject the null hypothesis. A p-value is the evidence against the null hypothesis. The smaller the p-value, the stronger the evidence that you should reject the null hypothesis. Let's take an example. Your null hypothesis is average cost of a dog is 5000 and the p-value for this null hypothesis comes to be 0.85. So this means you are 85% sure that your null hypothesis is true, meaning the average cost of a dog is 5000 rupees. Since the p-value is probability just like alpha, p-value also range from 0 to 1. For p-value, graphically, we can say that it is the area in the tail of probability. As you can see in the figure, this is our bell curve where p-value lies in the tail of the bell curve and p-value can lie this side or this side or both. For both sides it is called as true tail and for one it is called as one tail. If the p-value is higher, it is most likely to fall into more likely observation, and if the p-value is smaller, it is most likely to fall under very unlikely observation as per probability density. Thank you. Hope you understand the basic of hypothesis test. For more amazing content, don't forget to hit a like and share button.